Cord had a question here about binding, so I'm going to go over that. And before I do, I'm just going to look over the model a little bit, and I notice here that the hands aren't lined up correctly. You can see the joints aren't lined up with these fingers, so you're going to need to go back. Hopefully you saved a version of the file when you were using the fit skeleton, and you'll need to fix the position of those hands and fingers. I mean, theoretically you could, move this stuff now. Just it's really better if you get it right with the fit skeleton, because that could cause certain complications. So because you'd have to adjust both the position of this FK thing and the IK thing, and then do it on both sides and have them line up. And I just think, anyway, safer to do it with the fit skeleton. Um, Then I noticed the knees look a little low to me when I look at the shape of the legs. Let me turn off X-ray for a minute here. So yeah, I mean, I see the knee joint as being here, but we've got a knee joint. Let's turn off the face centers, by the way. Display polygons, face centers. So you've got the knee, down here, like down here, but to me it looks like the knee joint's up there. So again, you're going to want to go back to the fit skeleton for that, for sure, to that step, and get that positioned there. Yeah, I didn't notice anything else. So the other thing was that these pole vector locators on the legs should be straight in front of the knees. So what I'm going to do for that is select these guys and make sure I click on that center so that square is yellow. Hold down V and middle mouse drag to snap that to the knee, and then just pull it straight forward in front of the knee. Oh, and let's make sure we show you why I'm doing this. So if I move this foot, just move it up. You can see that knee is bending kind of how you'd expect it to. It's bending straight forward, right? But look at this one where the pole vector is saying, what are they calling this? Pole leg L. Where that's moved off to the side, look how the knee bends. Do you see how that points out to the side there? Let's do them both at the same time. Right? You see how this one kind of stays front and that one. So again, mouse snap and then pull that forward. We know it's straight in front of the knee. It doesn't really matter the distance so much as it's really because it's really the direction that determines how the knee points. So and when I was showing this stuff, I had switched this to IK mode, so let's put that back just to be consistent. Okay, so is that moved? I might just reopen the file just to make sure I haven't messed anything up. So I'm not gonna, obviously I don't have your fit skeleton file, so I'm not gonna try and fix that right now. Pull that out in front and click in the middle, V, middle mouse, pull that out front. Okay, just for symmetry. All right. So now is the, again, you're going to want to make sure you get these right before you do this, but I'm not going to go through that. So I turned off the referencing so I can select the surface here. We're going to go into our advanced skeleton, and you have a number of different bind options, and I recommend you guys use option 1, and feel free to experiment with some of these other ones. I mean, there's certainly tutorials out there on them, but I just think that I don't think it's going to save you that much time trying to use those. So just following the buttons, select deform joints, and my guess where Cord was having trouble is this, then select add the geometry, and what they mean is shift select on the geometry. So my guess is, I don't like looking at those face centers. My guess is that you didn't shift select the geometry. I don't know. And then we're going to set smooth bind options. So When you hit select to form joints, what it's done is carefully selected all of the joints that are going to form the surface. This is a very complex character rig, and one of the things it does is it has multiple sets of joints on top of each other. So it has one set of joints that's um, actually bending the surface, and that set of joints is controlled by another set of joints on top of it, which is the rig. So it'd be confusing to have to select the joints themselves since there's two sets of joints on top of each other. So it does that for you with this button right here. If you're curious which joints those are, if you right mouse click and go to reveal selected in the outliner, it shows see deformation system and motion system, and you can see that it has this, here are the joints. And so actually it wouldn't be that hard to select those, right? You open up deformation system, select all those joints. That's really all that button does. But if I shift click open here, motion systems, see all these little blue things here? Those are all joints. So those are all, they're not joints that are directly deforming the surface. Those are joints that are controlling the deformation skeleton, which in turn is controlling that. But you don't really need to know all that. If that's confusing, don't worry about it. So yes, the most important setting to change here is bind method. So invariably, what I like to do is I do heat map. Oops, sorry. I do heat map, and if I get errors on that, then I use geodesic voxel. So let's, and then I just leave the other stuff with the default settings. Bind skin, boom. Let's see, move something around. He's moving around. He's working. You know, there may be areas to paint. You might want to touch up the thigh. I mean, it's doing a quite nice job from the get-go. Obviously, you're going to have problems with the fingers because they weren't lined up correctly. But I mean, if you had to use it as is, you know, with the exception of the fingers, you could mostly go in the video. I go over how to fix the squished up head problem here. So if I could redo it now, but if you just refer to the video, I go over that step by step. Basically, you paint the weights so that that's all solid white for the head joint. So yeah, hope this helps, and yeah, let me know if you run into any more problems.